So today I'm going to give you guys an update on my citrus seedlings. Um, uh, I did upload another video, one or two videos. I don't remember exactly when I planted the seeds, but I'm gonna say maybe 2 years. I'd have to go back and check, but I had some citrus seeds, um, and I decided to plant them because a lot of the citrus varieties that I wanted to try and grow, I just couldn't get a hold of them. Like, a lot of places just don't ship citrus to California, and I think it's because California has a big citrus um like a big citrus well, they grow citrus, so they grow a lot of commercial citrus. They have big commercial orchards, and so they have a lot of regulations and rules to kind of protect the industry from like disease, and yeah, I think disease mostly. So even though I'm in California, I'm not in like a perfect citrus growing area, um, like a zone 9 would be, or a 10. I'm in an 8B. I'm in the high desert, so I am in a desert climate in Victorville, California. And some years we get some years we get snow, so we get pretty cold winters, a little too cold for most citrus. And so I'm very interested in the cold hardy varieties, and some of those varieties I just couldn't get anyone to ship to California, so my only option was to grow them from seed. So yeah, so about 2 years ago, I think I started a um, little tray, and I do have a video if you guys want to watch that, with these little plugs. It's almost like a mini greenhouse for seedling, to start seedlings. I purchased it at Home Depot, and I think it was like 24 little slots or maybe more. So I did get like really good germination from the seeds I planted. So I had a lot of multiples of the same variety. And so I had a whole bunch of little baby citrus seedlings. And then I think that same year, sometime in like spring, I transplanted them into these little pots. And then a lot of them just started a lot of them just didn't make it. So I'm thinking there was like about 24, 20 citrus seedlings, maybe 15 to 20. And out of the 15 to 20, I have 4 survivors, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just planted that. It was in one of these little pots. We are in August, I think August 14, maybe. August 14, August 15. And I decided that these seedlings were getting too big for their little pots, and so I have a couple options. I can either take them and repot them into a larger pot, or I can put them in the ground. And I decided to put at least that one in the ground, and probably this one. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll put them all in the ground. Maybe I'll do 2 in a pot, in a larger pot, and then 2 in the ground. But yeah. So let me show you guys the survivors. So I was growing yuzu from fruit that I was growing yuzu seeds, sudachi seeds that the sudachi seeds I did get from my own sudachi. I already have a sudachi in the ground that produces fruit, and I took those seeds. So it came from my own tree, the seeds. The yuzu, I purchased the seeds. Yeah, so I had yuzu, sudachi, there's amber sweet. Amber sweet, it's a variety. That one's a really interesting one. It's like, it's got a lot of stuff in its heritage. It's got like amber sweet. I think it's got like grapefruit, orange, and it's a really interesting, cool mixture of the mix that they did to create that amber sweet is very interesting. But I don't remember exactly, so if you're interested, you can kind of look up the parentage of the amber sweet citrus. So I did plant those amber sweet seeds, and then I did purchase seeds. I really wanted a Chang lemon. That's the reason why I started growing the seeds, because I really wanted that in my backyard as part of my citrus collection, as part of citrus, you know, my little citrus collection I have going on. I heard wonderful things about it. I saw some videos online of people growing that Chang lemon, and a lot of people have reported that it's pretty cold hardy. So I was very interested in that, but I couldn't purchase the tree, so I am growing it from seed. What else was I growing? Yuzu, sudachi, Chang lemon, amber sweet, and Indio mandarin quat. Seeds from an Indio mandarin quat. And I think that was it. But again, I could have forgotten something. I have to go back and look at that video. It's a citrus seedling video. If you find it, you can see what I was growing exactly. But out of those, and then I had multiple of the same variety, because I did have 15 to 20 little seedlings. And out of those 15 to 20, I have 4 survivors. So I have the most vigorous and most wonderful, as far as like vigor, is this one right here. And you can kind of see the little trunk, and you can still see the little plugs that I planted the seeds in when I had that little nursery kit from Home Depot, I think. And then you just take that little plug, and then you can just plant it in a pot, and it is like, it does degrade, just breaks. The roots can just go right through that. It can yeah, it can just go right through that. So it was a really cool kit. It was very easy and simple to use. It kept like the humidity. I put it, I did use like a heat pad underneath, and it had a lid, and kind of just created a little wonderful humid greenhouse. But this one, out of all the seedlings, you can see how vigorous. It's very vigorous. It grew really fast. It's very strong. It's got a good root system. And the reason why I'm planting them is because they, the roots, oh, there's a huge spider. The roots are coming from, they're coming out from the bottom. So it's time for repotting, or it's time to put in the ground. That spider looks kind of scary. I'm just gonna put it in the garden. I don't want to mess with it, so I'm gonna just kind of hopefully go down, go live in the garden somewhere over there. Go, there it goes. It's on its way to find a new home. Okay, so this one is my largest compared to these. So amber sweet, did great. Beautiful trunk. It's about, I don't know, maybe 9 inches, 12 inches tall. Beautiful leaves. This one is Sudachi, and it's a lot smaller. You can see, I'll bring you guys up close. It had a trunk. This was like the main trunk here, but then it like died back, or it burned off or something, and then it started branching out again from the bottom. So it has like a double trunk, and that's where all the leaves are coming from. But this is from fruit from my in-ground Sudachi that's been producing fruit for me like reliably for like 2 years now, 2 or 3 years. So that's a seedling of my tree. That's a purchased tree that's grafted. I think I got from Four Winds Nursery or something like that. And then this one's the Indio Mandarin Quat. I love the Indio Mandarin Quat fruit. They're very, very delicious. It's like a very tart and sweet, and the rind is edible and very sweet. They're very beautiful, dark orange. But this one's very small and kind of bushy, and I think it's got like 3 trunks going on. I think it's got like a multi-trunk type thing. Like, if you can see, it looks like 3. It's single trunk, and then it spreads into like 3. It splits into like 3. It's got like a little canopy. It's very bushy and kind of small. I'm not going to be grafting them. I'm growing them on their own roots. So we'll see how they do. Some citrus does wonderful on their own roots. Like this looks like it's gonna do wonderful on its own roots. And then some don't do as well. Like they do benefit from grafting them onto something, onto a different rootstock. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't have experience with grafting, and I kind of find it a little bit difficult for me. So I'm growing these on their own roots. So these are the survivors: Sudachi, Amber Sweet, Indio Mandarin Quat seedlings, and the I Chang lemon that I just put in the ground. So let me bring you guys a little bit closer. This is what the tree looks like. So I am going to be putting like a little tomato cage over it, and then if it gets really, really cold in the winter, I will put a frost cloth, kind of like what I have over there on the, you see that frost cloth? That's frost cloth, but I'm using it as a shade cloth. In there I have growing a pawpaw, and it's very sensitive to our heat. It tends to really burn. So I protect it in the summer, and then I take it off in the fall, and then just let it it just does its thing through fall and winter. It's unprotected throughout the fall, the winter, the spring, and then I put it back on in the summer. Eventually I won't have to do that once it gets more acclimated to our desert climate, and then some of those trees around it will create some sort of canopy to kind of protect it as well, to shade it a little bit more. That's the idea, that the trees around it will grow, and it will kind of grow as an understory type of tree, which is kind of what it likes to do in the wild anyways, or where it's grown just naturally. I think it grows native. So I will do that to this in winter. If it gets too cold and I see it struggling, I will protect it from the winter. If I don't see it struggling, it'll just be unprotected. Let me go back in the shade a little bit. It's hot over there. So if you can see, I'm on my floor in the concrete. there's the little new Ai Cheng lemon seedling planted, and behind it we have another seedling that is 3 years old, 3 or 4. I'm thinking like 3 years old, 4 years old, something like that. And that's been in the ground, you know, a couple years now, and it was very small, just like the Ai Cheng lemon is now. And now it's about 3 feet tall, and that is a yuzu grown from seed, and it's got like a single trunk, then it splits into a double trunk and kind of just has like a nice little canopy up top. It is putting on some growth right now that the temperatures are dropping a little bit, so it gets a break from that heat. And yeah, hopefully in a couple of years this little baby will be as big as that, and then we'll have 2 citrus trees. They're pretty close to each other, so I'm guessing they're kind of gonna they might kind of grow into each other in the future if they survive. But let me move a little bit so you can see. So it's a little corner space. We have that block wall that does radiate heat. It heats up during the day, and I'm guessing at night it kind of releases some of that heat. So it will kind of maybe be a little bit warmer, and then it also kind of slopes down, the ground slopes down, so maybe that'll help with like drainage. But I'm growing them in just native soil. I don't amend the soil, so they either survive or they don't. They gotta be tough to live in my backyard. They don't get too much like babying. I don't baby them too much. You either survive or you don't, and yeah, it's kind of how it goes. So here's the other 3, and you're probably wondering what is going on here with this. This is a baby pine tree. I had them growing here, like up against that wall when they were younger, and then I moved them to the front. And when they were here, we have a really big pine tree that also protects them a little bit in winter, because it's an evergreen. So we have the wall and then we have the pine tree, but this pine tree drops its pine cones and the nuts and the birds, and it fell into one of these little pots because it was like down there. It just dropped and it sprouted. So we have a baby pine tree here, and then we have the sudachi seedling here. So 2 seedlings. I do have to find a new spot for this, a new pot or a in-ground spot. And this little tree, yeah, I might let it grow in my backyard or keep it in a pot and kind of dwarf it, but we'll see. But these are my seedling survivors. This is my seedling citrus seedling update. Hopefully these trees grow to be mature trees, and one day hopefully they will produce fruit, and that'll be awesome. I hope I get to taste the fruit. It'll be very interesting to see if the fruit is just like the parent, or if they are some sort of hybrid, or they could be a clone of the mother plant. They could be a hybrid of some sort. You just don't know when you're growing things from seed. Just depends on what was growing around when the fruit got pollinated, if there was other citrus trees nearby, or yeah, so it'll be interesting. And these 4 have shown to be pretty cold hardy already. They already made it through one winter, this past winter of 2023, I think. Yeah. So this will be their second winter. Now they weren't like in the middle of the yard in the coldest area or the coldest spot, completely exposed to wind and cold, but they were, I think they overwintered right where that fig is. There's a peach, a fig, and a loquat up against that wall. They overwintered up against that wall, I believe. That's what I did, and then I moved them in spring to a different location. But we have that wall that does radiate some heat. It heats up in the day, and then it kind of and it also protects it from wind. And then we do have that big pine tree up above. We have this evergreen here, and then we have, it's a corner, so we have that wall and that wall. So I was kind of a little bit strategic on where I was putting them, but I didn't cover them. I'm pretty sure I didn't cover them. So they were still, it was kind of a mild winter though, so yeah. But I'll keep an eye on them. These are the survivors. The Amber Sweet seedling, looking beautiful. The Indio Mandarin Quat seedling, and the Sudachi seedling. I already have a Sudachi, but it is grafted. So I might grow this on its own roots and see which one does better. And then the I Chang lemon that just got put in the ground. I'll let you guys know in another video and another update what I decided to do, whether these went in the ground, or maybe some of them went in the ground and some of them are in pots. But yeah, I'll give you guys another update, maybe next year, and see if I still have them growing and if they're still alive. You never know. A lot of times things aren't successful. You do end up losing trees to the elements too much. They can get sunburned, or they can get completely burnt and dried, or they can lots of things can happen. Like they can freeze to death. Here in this area, they can get attacked by a virus or a bug, or you just never know. But yeah, I'm excited. I think I can get them to grow. This one definitely shows a lot of promise. So I might even put this in the ground. I think I really want to put this in the ground. I might repot these. All right, guys, that's probably a long enough video. But this is a little area where the I Chang lemon's going to be growing with that other seedling, 2 seedlings. Here's my other babies. And yeah, so it's kind of a little bit cooler. I am in the shade. You can kind of see the shade right over there is full sun. But for right now, I get morning shade. And then this is blasted by afternoon sun, which is super hot. So this will all be in sun in the afternoon. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.